Hey team, welcome to Monday Morning Pearls. Before we get into the pearl, want to point you towards our podcast. You can find it at spanthechasm.com/podcast. Podcast series built by conversations with expert senior sales leaders, key success habits, things teams are doing well, areas where they've made mistakes that we can all learn from. The whole point of this is to help you sell better today. Now on to the pearl. Hey team, welcome back. Monday Morning Pearls. Ken and I are super excited. Here we are, yet another in our series on recession-proofing your sales team. Today, one of my favorite topics, and that is getting your messaging tight. Why do we need to do this, Ken?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. We have to do this because deals that are moving tend to stall when the value you present, the use cases, the things you can deliver aren't actually understood by the companies you're selling to. And so I think aligning that messaging in a way that really presents value that's obvious and clear becomes really important, because in an economy that's been going straight up for almost 10 years, presenting value hasn't been something you've had to do to get deals because there's been free-flowing money. But trust me, folks, money's going to get tighter.
Yeah, because we see a lot of people when it's easy, there's nothing like success to hide failure. When it's easy, your messaging can be at that sort of marketing level messaging. Yeah. I think right now we need to really, really tighten it down. So Ken, couple of things. What can we do? What are some simple steps we can take to really make sure that we're aligning our message to them, not our easy stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, first of all, let's talk about, have we properly identified what the current state is? You know, we talk about identifying business pains, and too often we start telling your sales leader, you ask a salesperson, hey, why are they gonna buy? And you think that when the salesperson leans into you and says all the things that are on your marketing brochure, that means they're a buyer. No, that doesn't. That means they're making assumptions because they haven't asked the important questions. So we have to figure out the current state, but you can't stop there, Randy.
So once you get the current state, we've made that unacceptable through whatever we've done. We've got to, again, that's about them. The future state also has to be mapped out for them. Not you're going to achieve these other wonderful things, but very specific. In this environment, these are the gains that you are going to see, and they look exactly like this. So that we can clearly articulate where they were, where we're taking them, so that they can see that specific value to them.
Yeah, and I feel like we jumped past something a little bit, so let me back up. So you said something that's incredibly important, and I think it's probably one of the number one things that salespeople miss, right? What's their current state? Well, they don't like their tech stack. That's not enough, folks, right? Why? Yes. Talk to me about why the current state is unacceptable. What are the negative consequences of the current state? Why must the current state be changed? Because if we haven't figured that out, the future state is just kind of this macro dreamy thing. There's no substantial difference between where they are today and where you can help them go. So what else? I mean, what else can we do here to help tighten up our messaging?
Well, okay, so we've done a great job. We've made the current state unacceptable, which sorry we got past that so quickly. 1,000% agree. There's no motion because everybody's busy, right? Great, this future state, we all want that, right? But we got the current state going. That creates the motion. We're pointing them towards that future state. I think one of the things we need to do a super job of here is really make sure that that delivery of that gap is tied to our differentiation. Not just what everybody else can do, but what we can do with our experience, all those things that we bring to the table to make sure that it is us. We are the bridge that spans that chasm from their current state to their future state.
Perfect. I mean, and just think about how that would feel, right? Your team was driving messaging, tightly aligned, could be repeated back to you by the champion and the economic buyer. We often find we use a tool called the value driver framework, right? And with that tool in the value driver framework, one of the ideas here is that if we left that kind of current state, future state, where we're going, and we left it on the middle of a table in their office, right? And the CEO walks in and picks it up, they'd go, man, that looks a lot like me. Can you imagine the impact that would have on your ability to close deals and keep them in motion?
I mean, seriously, so we kid around with our clients. We do this all the time. Okay, so let's say I call your economic buyer up and I ask them, tell me about the current state, future state, all that good stuff. And they could actually answer the question. How cool would that be in this time when everything is super competitive?
Yeah, it would be fantastic. And I promise you, it'll move the needle substantially. So look, we're here to help, and we're super fired up about this. These are the things we care about in helping sales teams and leaders move the needle. So you need some help, reach out. Love to have a conversation with you. Can't wait to see you on the next episode of Monday Morning Pearls.